Welcome back to the podcast. This is Relax Bro Part 2 of Davey. Um, we didn't go nowhere. We just took a break, really. But I think we can make another episode out of what we got going on here.
Yes, sir.
And so we were at,
Caleb and Jason getting arrested.
yeah, they had warrants. You said they had warrants. Do you know what they were?
No,
What were they getting
Caleb's,
arrested for?
Caleb's,
Drugs or?
Caleb's was see, and that's another crazy part. Another crazy part too about when they came because we were doing some things at that house, that we should not have been doing.
Do you want to share with the
We
audience?
were cooking methamphetamines.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we were cooking dope, and there was a lot of shit going on at the house. Um, and so we had when the day the cops showed up, why they never went out into the garage, I don't know, but we had 5-gallon buckets full of the precursors, such as like the iodine and the other chemicals that we had already used to make the dope that we had already made,
So you guys were just feeding your own habit at that point.
basically. And so they came, they took them both to jail. So now,
Did your mom know that?
no, she didn't know that we were the extent of it all.
So when they took him to jail, they find that shit?
No.
It's nuts. So you were just alone with all that stuff?
Yeah. So they took him to jail, and then it was left basically up to me to try to find bail money to get both these motherfuckers out of jail. And so I've also stuck with 2 pit bulls that nobody else can be around because they'll bite them.
Sorry, dude. I'm going to have to lock him out.
You're good. And so I'm like trying to handle all this shit, take care of all this shit, and I don't even know what the fuck to do. So finally, I think like a day or two later, I think Caleb got out of jail first.
Like on bail?
Yeah. Or no, I think they just OR'd him after he went to court.
Okay.
Because it was for it was for a DUI. He had gotten a DUI and he wasn't taking care
I
of.
thought you said they came to the house.
Well, they did. They came to the house.
Oh, so that's what his warrants
Yeah,
were.
that's
Okay.
the
I
warrants
got
were
you.
the warrants were for the DUI.
Gotcha.
And then once they came there, they came there looking for Caleb originally.
Oh, and then named everybody?
And then when they found Jason in his room and they ran his name, they found out he had warrants too. So then that's when they took him to jail. So then after that, like shortly after that, the house ended up getting foreclosed on, and we ended up having to move out. So by this time, I'm like 18. So I leave there, and I think I went and I started staying with my real dad for a minute. He was living over off of A Street. And we first smoked weed together when I was like 18. I went over there. We went over to one of his buddies for a barbecue, and everybody started rolling up these big old fat ass hooters, and we're all sitting there, and hooters start getting passed around, and I'm sitting next to my dad, and all of a sudden my dad hands me a joint, and I'm like, the fuck? And he's like, you're 18 now. I don't give a fuck. So I was like, cool. So then we started smoking weed together. And
Do you feel like you guys bonded that way?
uh,
Was it like a cool thing to do? Like, do you think like, oh,
I mean, in a way, but there's always I've got a lot.
Like, were those good memories to you? Like, you're glad you shared those memories with us
Well,
because
yeah, I mean, yeah and no. I mean, I have some good memories with him, but there's
anybody who
more.
knows who you are knows that weed is your thing.
Yeah,
That is what you are. And
it's
so I
always
can't
has
help but
been.
to think that maybe this would be a good thing for you and your dad to like have shared those moments
Well,
together.
yeah,
Like,
and but see, my dad mentally, my dad's not right. He doesn't want to believe that he's not right. I think he's schizophrenic because of past drug abuse, and he had thyroid cancer like in the early 90s. And your thyroid plays a big part in the control of your brain. Your thyroid and your brain do a lot of communicating.
yeah, I hear that's a big deal.
Um and so he's always blamed my mom for him doing dope and getting on dope because he said my mom introduced him to dope, but he was doing cocaine and he was doing drugs long before he met my mom. Like my dad and all my uncles, like we're part. That's what we were. My dad and all my uncles. That's what they were known for.
Was he growing whenever whenever you were 18?
No, because where the house that he had on A Street, it just had a little ass backyard and it was all concrete. It wasn't even really. It was more of a patio, because it was weird the way that there was another property on it. There was like a back apartment or like a back house, so it was like a house. His house is up front right here. House is right here. A Street's right here, and then there was a long driveway that went all the way back. And so back here was all concrete, right here, all concrete driveway. House was right here. Well, then back here in the corner was the apartment, and that's where this dude Brandon Lambie lived. He's been real big in the mini trucking scene for years. He's got the leopard Tacoma that's all leopard cheetah print. He was living in the back house at the time, so there was just a little patio that my dad had like a gazebo and a fucking spa, like a soft tub spa in, and enough room for like a couple toolboxes and shit because my dad's a mechanic. And then the rest of it was just, like I said, all driveway, all open driveway. So we came to a point one night. He had been messing around with this broad that he had moved in with her and her old man up on the east side. It after he had before this was right before he moved into the house on A Street, and this was at a time that me and him weren't talking because there was quite a few times that there was years in between that we didn't speak.
We're in one of those seasons right now, right?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him, and last time we talked, he told me he was gonna beat my ass next time he see me, and I laughed at him, told him, "You ain't beating nobody up." Like,
anyways, keep going.
So he was seeing this broad. He moved in with this broad and her old man that he worked with or was a car salesman at the car lot that my dad worked at and was working on the cars. And well, my dad would stay gone. He would stay out late because it got to a point to where she would stay up until and would wait for my dad to fucking come home. And then she'd be like trying to hit on my dad and shit. My dad was like, And then finally my dad just said, fuck it, started clapping her cheeks, dog. And so by this time he's we're both living on A Street. And no, you know what? I wasn't 18 yet. I was about to turn. almost 18. Yeah. And so I'm getting tattooed one night. I was getting this arm tattooed.
By who and where?
Another person that's no longer here. Rest in peace, Dustin Johnson. And
How'd he die?
he got shot with a shotgun right there at the condos on Olive Drive by his baby's mom's dad.
No way.
Yeah. This was like 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
Let's say his name one more time.
Dustin Johnson. Yeah. And so I'm at his house one night getting tattooed. And of course I'm spun out because I'm in my days of doing what I want to do. And so he calls me and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm getting tattooed right now." And he's like, "Well," I said, "but I'm almost done. Why?" And he's like, "Well, it's Kim's over here and she's got her daughter with her, and her daughter wants to meet you, and so we want to come pick you up." And I'm like, "Well, all right." Well, at the time, Dustin and his old lady were living over by Santa Barbara Pizza in this back house. So they come and pick me up. We go back to my dad's house, and they're like, "We need." Her mom was like, said they needed something from fucking Walmart. So she throws me the keys to her car. She's like, "Here, you guys go to Walmart. Take my car and go get this and this and this and this and this." And I'm like, "Okay."
17, no license, obviously.
No, I had a license.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
How'd you get a license before you're 18?
Maybe I was 18. I don't know. I had a license. Maybe I didn't have a license. No, I didn't have a license.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, no, she didn't give a fuck. I think all she was wanting was some dick. You know what I mean?
From you?
No, from my dad.
Oh, okay.
That's what she was trying to get us out of the
So
house.
that your dad was hooking you up with the daughter?
Her mom was.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And
that's cool.
yeah, her daughter was like 16.
She's probably about it then,
yeah, her mom was fucking wild, dog.
God.
And so me and the daughter, me and old girl, we jump in the car and we take off.
Uh-huh.
And we go to Walmart.
Yeah.
And get all what we need to get, and we fucking go back to the fucking house and hang out a little bit longer, and they take off. Well, then the next night they come back over, but this time they stay the night. And so her and my dad go in the room, go to bed. Me and old girl make a bed on the floor in the living room. And I clapped her cheeks. And so then, at the time, her mom's like fighting her dad over, like they've been going through custody bullshit.
Yeah.
Because mom's fucking wild. She's having a drug test, all this kinds of shit to get her custody, to be able to even see her daughter. But she gets her daughter, and the first thing she's doing is she's bringing her over to my dad's house, and she's getting all spun out with my dad and all this shit. And so then me and this girl end up like, she basically turns into a fucking runaway from her dad. Okay. Her mom's like trying to keep her away from her dad. So she makes this girl basically my fucking responsibility, bro. And we straight go and couch surf through Oildale for like 2 weeks, bro, on the run, basically, from her dad that's looking for us. And
how you felt that way, like back then, or you feel that way now? Like what,
no, this was back then.
Yeah. So what? Why would you sit there and like feel like it was your responsibility, or was they just?
It was just the way everything. I wasn't fucking in my right mind. I was on drugs. I just didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I
That was
had
probably like one of like your first like actual girlfriends. Then would
no,
you say
no,
that?
fuck
No,
no, uh-uh.
no. Well, I'm not saying like girls you were just hanging out
No,
with, but like,
and
why
she
did you feel
wasn't
like it
even.
was a
She wasn't even.
responsibility?
She never really was even a girlfriend. Really, like our like the whole thing like lasted like only a couple of weeks, dude. Like, and then that was it. And then she ended up having to go back to her dad's, and then we never fucking. And then I ended up like going to jail like a couple months later because that's when I got caught with a sack of dope when I was like,
So you had to have been 18 by now.
yeah, a
Okay.
little after this was that when I got caught with the dope. Yeah, I was already 18.
Okay.
So
Your first time in jail?
yeah, yeah,
For that, that's a big one.
And the story on that, I had just gotten a job roofing, and I was staying. I had just gotten or started renting a room from with Andy Miller, which he's dead now too. Rest in peace. And Chris Franks, and uh, we had partied fucking hard one weekend, and me and Andy had work Monday morning, and we just we weren't feeling it, and we were like, we need some dope for in the morning, dude. Like we're gonna need it bad. So I had a little bit of money. Andy had a little bit of money, so I grabbed his money and grabbed my money and jumped on Nick Henson's fucking Redline Cruiser.
God, I
and
can't stand that guy.
and down to the plug's house I went, which was down on McCord. Okay, well, any other time I would have.
My mom's
I
house.
no, no. Any other time I would have cheeked this shit, dog. I would have hit it somewhere on the bicycle, but for some reason that day, dog, I grabbed it and I threw it in my pocket. I jumped back on the bike, bro, and I took off riding. Started riding back up Oildale Drive. So I'm riding up Oildale Drive, and I'm coming up on Lincoln, past Lincoln, and I'm riding against traffic, but I'm on the sidewalk. All of a sudden, here comes two sheriffs on mountain bikes.
What?
That straight right up in front of me and stopped me. Hey, what are you doing? Going the fuck home. The fuck you mean? They instantly go to digging in my pockets.
No way.
Well, what do? They pull out a weed pipe. They pull out a sack of like a 30 sack of dope. And
How much is that?
maybe a fucking gram.
Is that
Maybe.
enough for like two people?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just to get you going for the fucking the day. You
Oh,
know what
really?
I mean? Like,
Gotcha.
yeah. And so I'm like, fuck. So they take me to jail.
Damn.
Of course, parents are like, get fucked. We ain't bailing you out. You got yourself there. You can fucking sit there.
Because they've been trying for so many years, and you're like, fuck
yeah, you know, and so I'm like, whatever. So I was downtown for like 3 or 4 days, dude, and they didn't let me shower the whole time I was in downtown, bro. Like, finally they shipped me out to the farm out at Lerdo, and it's like 9:30 at night, 10 o'clock at night, bro, and it's cold. We get off the bus. Back then, you could still smoke out at Lerdo. You could buy cigarettes in canteen, and you could still smoke out there. So they bring us off the bus, and they bring you into this like patio area where all these benches are, and they've got these outdoor heaters and shit where you all come in, and they basically do their head count and make sure everybody's fucking there. Well, all of a sudden, these fools start pulling out fucking cigarettes, dog, and they're making these makeshift. They're grabbing toilet paper and sticking them to these sticks to stick up into the heater, bro, to light it on fire so they can light cigarettes and shit. And I'm like, I'm gonna drag off one of them cigarettes, dog. Like it's been 3 days, like. So I was out there for like 2.5, 3 weeks while I was waiting to go to fucking court. I finally go to court, and they're like, all right, check it out. We're gonna give you this drug program called PC 1000. 6 months.
There's a band called PC 1000.
Is there?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. So I start this drug program, and I have to go to a class like 2 or 3 times a week, but every day I have to call this number and see if my number gets pulled to go and random drug test.
Really?
Yeah, every day. Plus, I have to pay for all the drug tests. I have to pay for the classes.
So it's like a lottery. Do they just call different numbers and you have to listen for the number? Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
Yeah. And so it's supposed to be 6 months. Okay.
Oh my God.
So 3 months into this fucking class, they're like, I can't give them a clean drug test because I don't want to quit smoking weed. The dope wasn't the issue. Like, I've never had an issue putting the dope down. I've never needed the dope. I only did the dope because it was around in abundance. I didn't really have to pay for it. I didn't go out and steal and do all that kinds of shit for it. Never had to do any of that. I had friends that sold dope, and it was my hands, whenever basically I wanted it, and I didn't even have to ask for it. It was just always offered. Like, all I had to do was show up. Like, as soon as I walked in the door, the pipe was fucking handed to me. You know what I mean? Like, it just, so, and my whole thing was, I just like to do it and party and excuse my language, but have sex with women. Yeah. Like, that was my thing. Like, I didn't want to do anything else. I wanted to party.
I don't think that's bad language. I think everybody.
Well, I know it's going on YouTube and things like that, well, so, I try to keep it. I've had to really watch my mouth the whole time because you know how my mouth is.
Yeah.
So,
you're good.
And so, but I didn't want to quit smoking the weed. And at the time, I'm staying with my little brother Bradley and his parents, his mom and his stepdad.
Interesting.
Over off of Jennifer and Patton. Okay.
And those are neither your parents. Those are just
neither parents.
Baby daddy parents.
Yeah. And there was quite a bit of shit that had happened in between this time and.
How old are you then?
By this time I was 20.
Wow. That's pretty cool they did that for you.
Yeah. And so right before right when I gave him my third dirty, or I didn't even never go in and test. I just wouldn't go test. Like, even though they called my number, you go test? No, I ain't gonna pass. Is what I tell them. I'm still dirty. Like, and I would just tell them because I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But then shit got a little hairy, and all of a sudden it was, okay, Mr. Dorsett, we're gonna go ahead and discharge you and send you back to probation. And see, my stipulations for the whole thing were, I was to either complete the 6-month drug program, and my charges would be dismissed, and it would all be put behind me, or if I failed, then I would have to be discharged and put on another drug program, which was called Prop 36, which was basically, there was only very few people graduated that drug program. And if you didn't graduate that drug program, you got an automatic 16 months in prison back then. Okay, so.
Mind you, this is for weed at this time.
No, this was for dope.
Yeah, I know, but you are failing.
Oh, yeah, but I'm failing for weed.
Yeah, but were you doing dope at the time too?
No.
You were.
No,
you stopped.
I'd stopped. At
so
this
your
point
only
in time,
problem was
I
weed.
wasn't doing any dope. No. And so,
still not drinking either.
No, I was drinking a little bit when I lived with my little brother because we were partying. Gotcha. You know what I mean? I was like 20, 21, and he was like 15, 16 at the time. You know what I mean? He had all of his little high school buddies and shit like that. And of course, me being fucking 21 at the time, who can buy fucking alcohol? You know what I mean? So we partied, we like all teenagers did and shit like that. And then right before they wanted to put me on Prop 36, I'm like, let me go talk to probation, please. And so I went and talked to probation. I'm like, check it out. I don't want to go to prison. Like, no. I like pussy. I like good food. I like a good bed to sleep in.
You told him these things?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah. I'm like,
I think a lot of people can learn something about telling the truth.
I'm like, is it please like give me another chance? Like give me something like I'll go and do anything else I'll do anything you want me to do. Like, please just don't put me on Prop 36. So probation was like, all right, check it out. You can go check yourself into a live-in rehab, in-facility rehab for 6 months. And you complete that 6 months, and all the stipulations will still apply. And I said, done deal. So,
did you have to pay for it?
No.
Really?
No. Because the first one I tried and I went to was Teen Challenge. Okay, I went for I guess you could say like an interview, consultation, whatever. And they told me it'd be like 3 weeks before they'd have a bed available out at the men's ranch in Shafter, which was the men's rehab. They have the women's over there in Oildale on Roberts Lane, but they have the men's out in Shafter.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, then like 3-4 days later, they call and they're like, hey, we had a bed open up early. And I'm like, all right, I'll be there. So I pack up all my shit.
Did you get all high and shit before you went?
Or did I smoked some weed, you know what I mean? But that was it. And
you were just ready to go.
Yeah, I was just ready to go. I wanted to get this shit done and over with, you know what I mean?
And you're still 20 at this age?
No, I was 21.
Okay.
And
you probably had to be 21 to even get into the program, probably.
No, you only have to be 18.
Okay.
I think. And so I get out there, bro, and it's the first day. As soon as I get there for my fucking intake, they start going through my bags. Well, I had 2 cartons of cigarettes in my fucking suitcase. And they're like, "No, we don't allow smoking here." And so they handed the 2 cartons to my mom. They're like, "You can go ahead and take these back home." And I'm like, "The fuck you just say?"
This is Teen Challenge.
Uh-huh. And I'm like, breathe. I'm like, I have no choice. I'm like, so I get through the fucking intake. They give me a fucking tour of the fucking place. Make it through the first day, second day. By the third day, they've already laid down all these rules on me. I wasn't to talk about anything about my past. I couldn't talk about women because of what I did with them when I was on drugs in the past. I could basically only eat, breathe, live, and sleep God. And I basically couldn't talk about anything else.
They shove God down you?
Yeah.
Really?
It's like,
but not even God. Christianity.
Whatever they want to call it. You know what I mean? And so by the third day,
I didn't know that was even part of it. That's weird.
By the third day, I'm like, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I called my mom and I said, check it out. You can either come and get me, I said, or I'm gonna walk all the way back to Oildale. I said, I'll go anywhere else, but I am not staying at this fucking rehab.
Yeah.
This is not for me.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'll be there in a minute. So I'm like, I told him I'm out. You lames can take your program and shove it as far up your ass as it can go.
Did you talk to an actual counselor or somebody before you left? Did you tell them why you were leaving?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
What was the actual reason?
They're like, oh, well, sorry, this wasn't the program for you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so across the street was a drug house. It's Tweaker house, dope house.
You knew
so
that?
After I packed my shit, oh, yeah, because all the other guys in the fucking rehab had told me about it because they all knew, too. And so there was somebody standing out there watering the yard smoking a cigarette when I come out after I'd packed my shit and was leaving. because I wasn't going to wait for my mom. I took off walking.
Mhm.
Well, as soon as I walked out, I said, "Hey, you got an extra cigarette?" They're like, "Yeah." I walked over there, got a cigarette, lit that cigarette, and I just took off walking down the fucking road. And about half a mile down the road, here come my mom. Got in the car, went home. I called probation, told probation, "Hey, that wasn't a program for me. I've got another consultation with Salvation Army." So I went to that. They called me 2 days later with a fucking bed. I went there, started that program. Your first 30 days, you're on a 30-day blackout, which means you can't contact anybody outside of the facility. You can only write letters home and mail them home.
You can leave it anytime you want.
No, not the first 30 days.
They won't let you leave.
No.
How do they keep you there? You sign over for them.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to stay.
That's what I'm asking.
Like you can.
In order to stay, you have to stay.
Well, yeah.
But you're free to walk out whenever you want.
Oh yeah.
So you do have the free will to leave.
Oh yeah. We had. Yeah. Oh yeah. You can walk out of that place
Okay.
anytime you
All right.
want it.
That's fine.
Oh yeah. No, most definitely. And so like going into that place, like I had no intentions on changing my life at the time.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I should have been a little bit more disappointed in myself and should have wanted a little bit more for myself at the time. But I was so mixed up in the life of thinking that I was missing out on something.
Yeah.
That I didn't fucking miss out on anything. The only thing I fucking missed out on was setting myself up
To be
for a better future.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You know what I mean? That was the only fucking thing I missed out on. I didn't miss out on fucking anything else. I thought life was a big party and I was going to miss out on all the fucking partying.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was really something to fucking miss, you
Yeah.
know, or, you know, and it was just, I had a fucked up mentality. And that's the drugs. The drugs will do that to you, you know, and at the time it was always, every time something bad happened, you use it as an excuse to go and get spun out. Fuck this. I'm going to just go get fucking spun out. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to go do that, or I'm going to fucking just do whatever the fuck I want. Like, but in reality, it was just ignorance. It was being fucking stupid, being dumb. Like, it wasn't cool. It wasn't, yeah, I had a lot of fun while I was doing it. I would change some of it. I would change probably a lot of it because I'm definitely it's made it a little more rough to make it in life. I mean, I don't give up and I don't get help from nobody. I don't ask nobody for help. Everything I got I fucking work for. I don't come from money. My parents don't have fucking money. You know what I mean? Like parents live fucking paycheck to paycheck. You know? And so
I think most of us do.
Yeah, you know, and grandma and grandma passed away like 2 years ago almost.
You don't have to wear those. I can turn that on, and you can.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
Grandma passed away like 2 years ago, and grandpa passed away in like 2010. And with my grandma, there was a lot of shit that came into play. Because for the last 8 years that my grandma was alive, my wife took care of her.
Expects special treatment, lacks empathy, gets angry and defensive when criticized.
Just a selfish person.
It is.
And
The defense mechanism to protect fragile self-esteem.
uh-huh.
So people are just hurt and want to blame others for their pain.
And I've had to grow up. I've had to.
I always ask it to make it funny for Rudy.
Yeah, bro. And the fucked up part about it is I've had to grow up with a lot of that around me, bro. Like a lot of that. Like
Do you feel like you have some of those traits?
No.
Towards you, or just seeing it in general?
In general,
Okay.
with everything.
Gotcha.
Everything. Exactly. And I may have been like that when I was a kid and I was younger and I was on drugs and I still didn't.
I was just going to say, like, I think there is a certain point where your parents are responsible for how you grow up. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, it's
yeah,
okay
totally.
to blame that shit on them because they should have had a stranglehold.
Oh, well,
on
well,
them.
yeah, you know what I mean. But in the
Or at
same
least let a
sense,
better example.
in the same sense, so once you get to a certain age,
Yeah.
I mean, but regardless of because I guess
And that
like,
age could be different because you
and
take
it can
responsibility
be
on
because
yourself.
I can't sit there and say that because not everybody grows up in a
Yeah.
home that has parents that gives a fuck enough to teach their kids what's fucking right and what's really fucking wrong. You know what I mean? They're
agree.
especially nowadays. Like, everybody's so caught up in their own fucking world. Kids are running the house more than fucking anything now. And it's fucking crazy. Like, it's wild, you know. Um where are we going with this?
Well, I have you getting out of rehab.
Okay,
And your mom
yeah.
picking you up.
Okay.
You just went on a tangent, which is okay
Yeah.
because a lot of those stories are the ones
Oh,
that count the
yeah.
most. So.
So I then go into the Salvation Army, and at this time I just started talking to this girl, and we were kind of like seeing each other, and
She's not dead, right?
no.
we have the dead count at 4 right now. Well, actually, your
Oh,
grandma. So we should shout her name out as well.
Jenny Beckus. There's a lot of dead people, bro.
Yeah, I know, but as they come up,
Yeah.
and that makes it 5. Congratulations, you have the record. I should get a dead bell or something.
So me and her talking. Well, right as I go into the Salvation Army, she's got a grandpa.
I thought of a side question I want to ask you.
She had a grandpa that lived in Ridgecrest, and so she ended up moving to Ridgecrest as soon as I went into the Salvation Army, and she was like kind of taking care of him and like going to like a community college back there. So the whole time I was in there, she would like, after you're in there, after your 30 days, then on the weekends and shit, and on the weeknights, as long as you're back before 10 and after your classes, you can take off and go do, whatever you want to do. Whether you want to go get something to eat, or if you can get somebody to come pick you up and take you fucking home for a little while, or, whatever the fucking case was. Well, on the weekend, she would come down. And after you were there for 3 months, your last 3 months there, you could get an overnight a month, which was where you could go home on a weekend and fucking stay the night. Well, so my fucking first overnight, she came down and we rented a hotel room and went and stayed in a hotel room for the night. And then I ended up going back the next day. Then she went back to Ridgecrest. And then my last overnight that I ended up doing, it was right. My grandma just bought me a truck. This was like weeks before I was about to graduate out of the rehab.
You remember what kind of truck it was?
Yeah, it was a 95 Toyota Tacoma extended cab.
Oh, you dork. You freaking dork. That's why, okay, that explains a lot. Okay.
Uh-huh. And that truck was a fucking reason for my DUI.
Let's say her name again.
Whose name?
Your grandma.
Oh, Jenny Beckus.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Granny. So I ended up fucking coming home. Like, my mom came pick me up. I came home, jumped in my truck, and see, I wasn't supposed to leave like Bakersfield. I was only supposed to be going to my mom's house to stay the night.
Mm-hmm. So
I go home, jump in my Toyota, and fucking smash all the way to fucking Ridgecrest.
You were drinking?
No.
You got a DUI for weed.
Weed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I wasn't even high. It was at 3:30 in the afternoon. I just got off work.
Mm-hmm.
Was on the way home to do some cocaine.
Oh.
Stopped at the plug's house to get some weed from my foreman.
It wasn't even your weed?
It wasn't even my weed. But in defense, at that time,
That's God saying no more coke.
And that poor truck. Everywhere I drove, anytime I was driving, it didn't make a fuck. I was blazing. I was
Yeah.
smoking.
Yeah, I
like
know. Yeah.
all day, every day.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, so my truck just reeked. You know what I mean? And I had 312s in that
And that
thing,
was
dude.
when the weed was like just
Mhm.
turning that corner to where it was like
Mhm.
on the straightaway.
Yeah.
It
Uh-huh.
was good, sticky, sticky stuff.
And so I had 312s in the extended cab.
Yeah,
of
that's what
this.
got you pulled over.
That's what ended up getting me pulled over.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so I leave. I'm on the way to the weed guy's house, and the homie calls me, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm about to pull up to Scott's. What are you doing?" He says, "I got some of that bitch." I'm like, "Meet me over here, dog, and we'll go to the pad." And he was like, "I'll be there." So we fucking meet at the homies.
And she has this little tweaker torch, right? She doesn't know though. She tells me a story. She's like, "Look at this. I saw this in line at Walmart or whatever." And I was like, she's like, "I thought like you would use it for something." And I was like, "Babe, you know what that is, right?" And she's like, "No, it's a cool little lighter. It's a little tweaker torch." And I was like, "No. People use those to like heat up their meth and stuff. Like that's why they sell them next to like the little roses in the glass." I was like, she didn't know, and she's like, "Oh no, like that lady thought I was buying." Like, yeah, she probably did. So we have a little tweaker torch here.
Yeah. So.
All right, I have before we go on it. We're going right whenever you were meeting. I told you to remember. I have meat. But I do have two side notes. What is your middle name first?
Lyle.
Fucking dork. How you spell it? Lyle.
Yep.
Oh.
Just like Kyle, but with an L.
Well, it's kind of close to what I had my next question. You're proud of your race. You're known for that. You're known for not being too happy with others.
Yeah.
I want to know what you feel about Kanye's HH song. and now how you feel about Kanye in general. Because I personally think it's a good song, but
that dude, I really don't even have any words for that dude. Like I don't know, bro. People, that's what that comes into the line to when I say people are fucking weird. People are ate up. Like people are.
You don't think he has some good points?
Yeah, but he's so all over the fucking place. Like you self-sabotaged your whole entire career. Like over some dumbass shit. Like
I think he's doing better than ever. That dude's probably making more money than he ever has. Consistently. By both sides of the boat.
He wasn't for a minute.
Yeah, but that's sometimes you got to break some eggs.
Yeah, no, most definitely. But yeah, he's just, I don't know. I've never really paid too much attention to him, bro. Like,
but how do you feel about the song?
You know, to be completely honest, I've really only heard bits and pieces of the whole thing. I haven't sat there and listened to the whole entire song.
I would play, but I don't think we can.
Yeah, it's just I've come to a point now in my life to where, like, all that kind of shit, I try not to fucking even pay attention to, because it has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? That's one of the biggest problems in the world to this day, is everybody is so fixated on what everybody else is doing.
I know, it's wild, isn't it?
Like, why don't you worry about yourself?
Somebody
Like-
used to told me that like on the dollar, instead of like "In God We Trust" or something, it said like just mind your business. I don't know if that's true. We should chat GPT that.
It should go back to that.
I
Because I feel like if most of the people in the world could just go to work and worry about taking care of their families like things were way before our time, when times were much simpler,
when
that's-
fireplaces were orange.
when that's all you had to that's all you had to worry about was just putting food on the table.
Yes, it's absolutely true. The very first official U.S. coin, the 1793 Fugio. I don't know.
Fugio.
Fugio cent. Actually, the phrase "mind your business" on it.
Oh wow.
It was designed by Benjamin Franklin in 1787 before the U.S. Mint was formally established. It was the coin authorized by Continental Congress. Fugio, Latin for "I fly" or time flies. A reminder that time is fleeting. Beneath was the phrase "mind your business." Franklin didn't mean it in a starky, stay out of my business way. It meant something closer to pay attention to your own affairs or be industrious and productive. That's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
most definitely.
I'm glad we got to that.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, like I said, I feel like if people could just go to work, bro, and take back to simpler times.
You brought something up earlier, and I stopped you. Here it is right here.
Oh shit. Crazy.
That's badass. We need to go back to that. What is that, sundial? I wonder what time
Yeah.
it's saying right there. And there's a sun. Oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
I bet that thing's worth $1 million. You said something about homeless, the drugs, the homeless, and I brought this point up with Ryan. We don't have a homeless problem at this point. We have a choosing to be on drugs.
And that's I was gonna get to that aspect of it myself once we got to that part of
your story. And so like we can go back to that to get back to where you were going.
Yeah.
You had just left rehab.
Yeah, okay. So I graduate rehab,
Salvation Army.
Salvation Army, after
Congratulations.
6 months. Thank you.
Did you graduate high school?
Fuck no.
Rehab.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't graduate that either. Though.
No, they don't.
I mean, statistics from my count say you should have been dead too.
But yeah, a long time ago.
That's what I'm saying. So
yeah,
you beat some kind of odds.
Well, yeah, and there's I've got more stories that will lead to those times. So the first night the night I leave that rehab, right after their graduation ceremony, she comes down. My dad comes, my mom,
Your grandma,
my grandma,
Gotcha.
And we do the whole fucking the whole graduation ceremony thing, and we leave there. So soon as we leave, I stop at the little homie's house where I know there's going to be weed because I'm a fucking free man now, and I don't have to drug test. I don't have to do fucking anything. And so I stopped there, bro, and fucking soon as I walk in the door, it was at Joe Jacober's.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, in the apartment upstairs in the back. So it was him and Matt Diaz and Brooks and Church and
Oh, dang.
Germ and fucking.
No way.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, Germ.
Germ.
And
Damn, dude. Say Jeremy. What's his last name? Jeremy.
I forgot it. I forgot.
Well, we'll look it up. And
Yeah.
We'll give him a shout out.
So I come in, they're like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Give me that bong." And they fucking hand me the bong, and I fucking ripped the fuck out of this bong, bro. And I'm like, "All right, now I need some weed." So Matt I get some weed from Matt. And I'm like, "All right, guys, I'm out. I'm going to fucking dinner at fucking Chewy's." And so we left there and we went to the house, and we got in my truck, and we stop at Mobile. I was going to get cigarettes or something. And by the time I walked into Mobile and walked back out to my truck, that bong hit had fucking fully set in.
And you hadn't smoked in a while.
And I hadn't smoked in 6 months.
That's scary, bro.
And it hit me so fucking hard. I'm like, I get back to the truck and I tell a girl, I'm like, "We're going to go back and get your car. You're driving." So we went back and got her car. Well, by the time we get to Chewy's, bro, I walk into Chewy's and the whole place is just one loud noise, bro. Like, I am so high, I can barely see out of my eyes, and everything just sounds like
Moran. Jeremy Moran.
Oh, there you go. Everything sounds like one, just everybody talking sounded like one loud noise. And so we ended up eating dinner and then fucking went back to my fucking mom's and fucking passed out. And then we got up the next day and I went to fucking Ridgecrest. We stayed at Ridgecrest for the rest of the week and the weekend because I was starting a job on Monday. Because as soon as I got out, my buddy at the time,
About
Brendan,
22 at this age.
Yeah, I was like 22, and Brendan did underground utility, and his dad was the super for Current Pacific Construction. And that fool told me, he's like, "As soon as you get out," he's like, "I'll get you on out here, and you come fucking work out here with me," because he was a foreman. I was like, "Fuck, cool." So that was kind of another reason why Grandma went and bought me a truck, because Grandma knew I had a fucking job waiting for me when I came out, and she knew I was going to need a fucking truck.
Grandmas are awesome.
Oh, I tell you what, bro. And so we
shout out to the grandmas.
Yeah, most definitely. Miss mine dearly. And my grandpa. Fuck, dude. So we ended up, I go back there for like a week, stay with her for like a week at Ridgecrest, come back into town, go to work. Well, like after working for like a month, I saved up enough money to move in to this, but we moved into this back house down on Lincoln.
Who's we?
Me and that girl.
Okay.
Her name was Stephanie.
All right. Is it the same girl? The your dad's?
No.
Okay, this is just 1 year old.
Yeah. There was lots of women.
Yeah.
And so we move into this. We move into this.
Or something?
No, I'm good.
All right.
We move into this fucking back house in the fucking alley of fucking Lincoln. It's like the 200 block of Lincoln. And my buddy Matt Gargis lived in the front house. He originally lived in the back house, but he had just moved up into the front house, him and his old lady and their kid. And so he helped getting us into that back house. So we moved in there, but fucking place was a dump, bro. So we lived there we had been there for like 3 months. And my mom had seen that the front apartment across the street from them was coming up for rent. And so she's like, "Hey, this fucking apartment's fixing to come up for rent. Why don't you get down there and apply for it and see if you can get that?" And I'll call Ted, because we lived in them previous when I was younger. And so my mom knew the owner of them, you know what I mean? And knew how to get a hold of him. So she got a hold of him and was like, "Hey, my son and his girlfriend are looking for an apartment to move into." So we ended up getting it. We moved in. And I started dibbling and dabbling again. Bren,
In coke or meth or what?
In the dope.
So once you started messing with that, did you ever go back to coke?
Yeah, but it was a
But just
little bit.
recreational.
It was.
Wasn't.
It was. Well, no, it was only one other time. It was a little bit later on down the road. We'll get to that story too.
So, but like the meth thing was your thing.
At the time,
Gotcha.
yeah, weed was.
Yeah.
But at
Yeah.
the time, dope was one of my other things that I'd like to do at the fucking time,
Gotcha.
and so,
You ever feel like it had a control of you?
no, because like I said, I never felt like I needed it to function.
You just liked it.
Now weed, on the other hand, I gotta have weed to function.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Call me a fucking drug addict. Call me sorry, but I need my weed to keep from fucking killing people. I just, as the older I've gotten, my patience for people is real fucking thin now.
The world's changing. You always think like that grumpy old man, but the grumpy old man is because he went to war to fight for a different world that we're living in.
I'm a fucking retard, okay? And I don't have a whole lot of common sense, but I got a little bit. But some of these people, bro, I just can't. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm almost convinced that like half of the problems in the world is just like caused by just bad traffic, just people not knowing how to drive, like the anger that you feel driving to work,
road rage.
You know what I mean? Like,
don't.
And then
get
you
me
just
started.
have it in you from the very beginning, from the moment you wake up. You're just mad, like, why is he driving out of my drive? You know what I mean? Like, from the
I'm
moment
mad.
it starts.
I'm like that right now, and it doesn't. I wake up mad every morning. Like it's been like that for a long time, bro. And I don't know what it is. I mean, it could be. It's a good chance that it's this shit right here. You know what I mean? Because
Just keeping you down.
it could be, but it's the only way. Sometimes.
Do you think that stifles your creativity and just maybe you're not being creative? I know that there was like there was a moment there where you started working hard on like golf carts and stuff, and like.
Well, no, because I was smoking then too. I just it.
You still got that bike? Don't you have a badass like GT or something like
A red line?
Yeah,
I still got the red line.
Yeah.
It just it that turned into people being.
You think you said earlier COVID? You think COVID?
Well, yeah, because it was during that time anyways. So it was. It just goes back to people just being lame, dog. People being fake. People being one way 1 minute and being two-faced. They act one way in front of your face, and then as soon as your back's turned, it's a totally different fucking thing. And it just, you got dudes that'll try to fuck your old lady. You got it just. I ain't never been like that. I've never went after any of my friends' fucking either current girlfriends or even ex-girlfriends. Like, there's always been too many girls in the world to why would you want your homies' leftovers? Like, no. Like, no.
It seems disrespectful either way.
And that's another thing. That's like my wife. Like, I've been with my wife for 15 years. And I've been with my wife for 15 years for a fucking certain fucking reason. Like, my wife she's known around Bakersfield now because of her business.
Yeah, her business.
Her house cleaning business.
You want to shout that out? Let's shout that out.
Yeah, I got you cleaning.
You want to throw out a phone number?
You can find her at Desiree Dorsett on Facebook.
Okay. That'll work.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram. She got an Instagram.
Yeah. I don't know her Instagram name.
How do you
though.
spell your last name? Spell it all out.
D
Spell her
oh
Instagram.
DES. Oh, her Instagram.
Or either one, whatever, wherever she could be found. You know what I mean?
Well, Desert. It'll be Desert DESARAE, and then Dorsett DORSETT on Facebook, and then on Instagram it is. Hold on, let me get to Instagram here.
That way she can, once she gets all blown up on here, she can be one of my first
Yeah,
sponsors.
it's gonna be OK Bye, which is OKKAYBYEE, and that's on Instagram.
She cleans houses, businesses.
Houses, residential, commercial, clean outs, move ins, move outs. Any type of cleaning, she handles it, and she's got lots and lots and lots of references. She's very, 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 very trusted. Very trusted.
Cool.
Yeah, she's so.
I know her personally. She's cool,
Yeah.
cool girl.
Yeah. So I've been with her because she hadn't been with anybody I knew.
Yeah.
Or none of my friends. You know, none of my friends have been with my wife. You know what I mean? Like, and that was always a big thing to me. Like, yeah, I was a male whore. I was a slut. I that's what I did, you know, and
Do you think that that's why it bothers you if like other girls have been there because like you know what they've been through, like you kind of have an idea of.
Well, yeah, and not only that, but you know, I'm not gonna set myself up for somebody else to be able to talk shit.
You kind of do, bro. I could talk so much shit. Right
Shut
now.
the fuck up. You
I
can't
will
say,
burn you to the
yeah,
ground right now.
But you can't say, "How's my dick taste?"
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah. So you know that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Like,
Gotcha.
you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna set myself up for that kind of shit. Like, I've seen way too many of my
That's
friends,
hardcore.
and well, I could say I should say acquaintances. You'd see I've seen too many dudes do this shit, dog, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, do you not understand how many more girls in the world there is? And you're chasing this one that
Hurts you? Don't give a fuck?
Your home and your homeboy's been
That-
with, and your other homeboy's been with.
That's probably something that has to do with that narcissism. That like I can't lose. I'm not gonna lose.
Yeah,
Freaking attitude.
it's-
But
and-
that's not. That's you are losing. You are losing.
well, yeah, and to get back to that for just a short second, like when you asked, like if about me, like having any kind of like the narcissism behavior or anything like that, that no, like I've never.
I think I do.
I am in the position I am in today in life because of the decisions that I solely made as a fucking individual, that nobody else
Yeah.
had any power
Yeah.
over those decisions that I made.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody put a gun to my head for not even one of them fucking decisions.
Yeah.
It was solely because I wanted to do what I wanted to do, regardless of what anybody said. And I was going to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, all growing, I've always been hard headed.
I think that's what makes the individual because like I said, I've said it several times. I didn't like you for a very long time, but there was a point where you came into my life.
Yeah.
And I can say that you probably pulled me into the fucking life raft. I was in a very, very bad spot, and you were one of the very few people to waste your time
It wasn't a waste.
and come spend your hard-earned in the freezing ass cold while I'm sitting here
Shit, we had
building on
fun.
these trucks.
Shit,
You know what I mean?
we were having fun. I don't
If
give
it
a fuck.
wasn't you, for you, I probably would have gave up a long time ago. But your words of encouragement, you coming over here
yeah.
and finding positivity, and my negativity where I was drowning, you picked me up, and I'm thankful for you.
Well, and
having you here.
and see, you point is like since you point that out, I think that's I've never really talked about any kind of things like this, but like I think that's like always been one of my biggest downfalls. Like I've always got the best words of fucking encouragement for everybody else, but I don't never take any of my fucking own advice. Or what or any of the advice that I try to give to fucking anybody
How come?
else. I don't know.
Do you feel like you don't deserve to be in a better position because of all the shit that you've done?
No, I don't know. It's
Do you know that God loves you no matter what?
oh yeah, it just I don't know what it is, bro. All I know is I was raised that if you want something, you have to fucking work for it. Nothing's fucking owed to you.
You don't have to, but if you want to be proud of who you are,
yeah,
you do.
Unless you want to be,
If you want to be a good person, you do have to work for it, but you can find ways around it.
Well, yeah,
But you don't. But to have the integrity to suffer when you know you don't have to,
yeah,
you're gonna do it either way. You're gonna be a good person either way. That's something to embrace and be proud of.
well, yeah, it's I don't have give up in me, because if I did, I'd already be on the fucking streets. You know what I mean? Or I would probably already be dead. But I don't have give up in me. I've been working out of town for like the last almost year, and it's fucking played a fucking toll on me.
Being away from your family.
Yeah, I'm being away from my fucking home, and it sucks, dude. You know what I mean? But I still get up every day and do what needs to be done. So but a lot of people they don't even want to fucking do that anymore. You know what I mean? It's people are lazy. They're self-entitled. They think they're owed something. They've forgotten what respect's about. There's it's fucking wild. Like the blatant disrespect that goes on a daily basis is crazy.
I think about that like just as simple stop signs. Like they purposely like don't give they'll pull out front, but it's like, what are you racing for? Because
well, I'm an in a hurry fucking driver, bro.
well, I get that,
Yeah.
but everybody should be that way. I agree with that, but
nobody is in this fucking
you shouldn't
town.
be pulling out in front of somebody to go slower because you're on your phone.
Dude.
Just go.
I
know what I mean?
I drive up and down this 99 between here and Oakland. I've been driving this between the 99 and the I-5 for the last year.
But it's like
bro.
they get off on slowing you down somehow.
It's lame, dude. Like, and you wouldn't believe the people that the shit games that I play on the fucking road with people, dog. It is stupid. I'll have cruise control set. It's 75. Okay. Speed limit 70. I'm 5 over. Yeah. I'm in a company vehicle. I have GPS on the motherfucker. Dash cam, all that shit.
Yeah.
So I have to drive right. So I will come up behind people I'll be on the I-5. It's only 2 lane. I will come up in the fast lane behind somebody. I will pass them and like 5 other cars. Okay. Then I'll get up and I'll hit a gap to where there's a gap. And then all of a sudden I come up on a pack of cars, or I'm getting ready to come up on another pack of cars. And what do all these lames behind me want to do now? They all want to come speeding up all of a sudden and get in front of me and slow down.
Slow down.
And ooh, you want to, bro? My finger is.
I've been working on this other segment, and I want to call it Bad Traffic,
Oh, dude.
and where we just go through like horrible moments each week that we dealt with.
It is, dude, especially in Oakland, bro. Up there in Oakland on like the 580 and the 880, nobody drives the speed limit.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to drive 45 miles an hour on a freeway. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Why? This is a freeway. They speed limits at 65 for a reason. That's why they make speed limits.
Why do people go so slow on the on ramps and then shoot like
How
then
did
speed
they pass that
Is
question
it-
on the goddamn test?
is
Because
it
the
the-
question on the test is you get on with traffic at the flow
You should
of
be
traffic.
getting up to speed.
Not- Not get on the fucking freeway at 15 miles an hour while everybody else is doing 65, 50. I don't get it, bro. I really don't. Like I hate driving now because our town's now turned it's almost like LA now here.
Oh yeah, it's changing a lot.
It's so bad.
They're
here
building
now.
a casino right here.
Oh, yeah,
dude. And all
bro.
the projects.
It's-
It's gonna be crazy. Rest in peace, Bakersfield.
Yeah, for real. It just this place, dog. And it's crazy because we've both been here our whole lives, bro, and we've both watched this place grow so rapidly over the course of the last 20 years that it's reverted.
Well, damn it. We went the whole episode without that word. It's say it again. Say it's funny, and then I can clip that one out.
It's funny.
Okay, cool. Bakersfield used to be a bunch of fields, and there was a lot of Lancaster parks. There was a lot of jumps.
What did I say?
The R word.
I don't. It's not directed towards them.
I know, but it
It's-
flags.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Hard R's aren't allowed.
Oh no. My bad.
It's all right. We're good. I
Edit out.
yeah,
Yeah.
no big deal.
No worries.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. But let's just call this part 2. I want to thank you for your time.
Yes,
I want
sir.
to thank you for being who you are and keep digging into the things that you're digging into.
Most definitely.
Keep being a good person. And you have any words of encouragement to somebody who might have gone through something that you've been through?
I guess. Don't give up. You know, we've had quite a few friends we've lost to suicide. You know, things get tough, but it's just a passing storm. So eventually things get better, and they only get so worse before they get better.
You have to crush everything down to rebuild it.
Yeah, you know, it you got to start from somewhere, you know. Nobody starts at the top. You know, that just so sometimes it takes hitting bottom to
bounce.
and bring yourself back up to reality, to where you need to be and where you feel you want to be. But a lot of the times the person's got to want it. You have to want it yourself. You know, it can't nobody else make you want it. You got to want it for yourself, you know. So it's things don't stay bad forever. I mean, they're fucked up, but there's good, and there's always going to be good and bad. You just got to take it for what it is, and don't let something overtake your life.
All right. Thank you guys
Yes, sir.
for joining us. We'll be back. Thank you.